that. Go here, go this, edit this. Remove that. Set the game. I don't think I changed the game on Twitch. I might have. Okay, yeah, I did. I just didn't change the go live notification. Whoops. Doesn't matter now. I'm already live. Pop out of chat. Whoops. There we go. Now everything's set up. I am not good at this whole streaming thing. Honestly, I'm not good at this whole existing thing. It's a real problem. Like, I need my phone. I completely forgot to grab it. At least I can keep the headset on while I grab it, 'cause it's just a couple steps away. I suppose I don't need the phone. I just want the phone so I can look at what all is going on in the Splatooniverse on the Splatnet. Not sure how long the stream today is going to be, but where I didn't stream yesterday, you know. Feel like I should stream today. I haven't sent out the notification on Discord yet. That's the wrong channel. That's the right channel. There we go. Now I've sent a notification there. I had almost completely forgot, because I am good at this. Good at streaming, guys. Honest. I don't expect anyone to really even be here today. Saturday is not a good day for streaming. I don't fully know why. It just isn't. Friday's pretty okay. Saturday sucks. Sunday's pretty okay. Monday sucks. But Tuesday's fine. I am still working on an actual schedule. It'll happen at some point. Maybe. Hopefully. I'm not very good at this whole streaming thing. But, you know, I'm trying my best, and that's what matters. I do apologize if the stream ends up being on the shorter side, because I end up getting salty. Because I've already been dealing with some salt today. I did it to myself. I was playing World of Warships on the weekend, which is the worst possible time to be playing warships. Ow. And it honestly started last night with, basically, I always say this kind of stuff because, like, I know that a lot of you probably don't play warships. The various jobs of each ship class, yeah, ship class, each ship class, basically very, very broad brush strokes, but effectively, Battleships tank, destroyers spot, cruisers DPS, carriers do a mix of everything. Subs are just broken. Well, I've had 2 of my last 6 battles where I was playing a carrier. Now, the one thing carriers don't do in their mix is tank. They just can't do it. Be nice if they could, but they just can't. It's just not a reality for carriers. I've had battleships hiding behind me in my carrier. Or while I'm in my carrier. And it sucks. Because, like, I know I'm not the one to tank. It's honestly not hard to know you're not the one to tank when you're in a carrier. And I don't know what it says about the player base of the North American warships community, but it's always the American ships doing it. Always. I'm not saying that as a slight against Americans. It's the American ships tend to have the most range. So I'm assuming it's a case of their players are the ones, you know, the people that generally play them are the ones that are like, well, I've got the range, I may as well use it. Let's stop rambling about warships now, though. Playing Splatoon. I should talk a bit about the Splatoon 3 news that came out. Which I'm very excited for Splatoon 3. And I will be doing the test fire. Wish it wasn't a Saturday. But I will be playing it anyway. Maybe that'll be the one Saturday where Splatoon / streaming in general does well for me. I am kind of excited by one thing from the trailer, though I also did not see it anywhere in the trailer. And that's them saying that every weapon is coming back. So I'm getting my dual squelcher back. I love that thing. It had beacons. If they bring it back with beacons, I'm gonna be so happy, as long as beacons don't get nerfed. If beacons stay the way they are in Splatoon 2, I will be so happy. So happy. I also want to get it on record now that when Splatoon 3 comes out, I'll definitely be streaming the multiplayer. I'm not sure I'll stream much, if any, of the single player. I might play that on my own. And just if there's anything, like, important. Or relevant, I should say. I'll, stream that part of the single player. Like if there's basically an equivalent to Inner Agent 3. Ow. I thought that Flingso was backing me up. Like if there's something like that, I'll definitely do it. But and also, before anyone asks, though I know people are going to ask anyway, I honestly don't think I have a favorite Deep Cut member. I think I like them all pretty equally. Fry grew on me. I didn't initially like her, but then I literally was sitting there like, wait, this is literally the same opinion I had of Pearl. Like, I'm gonna end up liking her, and I know it. Also, until proven otherwise, I would probably refer to Shiver as she. They're wearing a bra. Like... an ancient bra, but a bra nonetheless. That wasn't very effective. But I still won. I don't mind. I will say that is the one thing that kind of annoys me about the designs of Deep Cut. Is the eyebrows. Literally, as they were adding more and more hairstyles for both genders, it was literally a case of, okay, leave the eyebrows alone, Nintendo. That can be the way of differentiating male and female without needing to look for, you know, hips and, you know, chests and things like that. And then they're like, nah, let's change eyebrows around too. It's like, no, stop. What was wrong with just leaving the eyebrows alone? Keeps me from looking at Squid Butt. Like, come on now. Also, I want to note to people being like, big man's trans or female, because they're you know, they're so big and, you know, manta rays, the females are bigger. Don't forget, Fry is a vampire squid, and he stands not much taller than she does. Big man ain't that big. Big man is probably about the same height as an Inkling. I mean, he is roughly the height of Shiver. That ain't all that big when you consider literally the shrimp of that universe are bigger than Inklings and Octolings. Like, I'm not saying that to be rude, like, oh, no, I'm literally just stating, like, he's not that tall, so he is probably actually a he. It is actually a male idol. It's just not an Inkling or Octoling. I'll honestly be shocked if Shiver's actually male, because, like, it's not, like, Japan has idols. Like, they basically started idol culture, and, like, exactly, but you get the idea. They popularized it. And they don't tend to favor male idols. They favor female idols. So in games made by the Japanese, you're probably looking at female idols all the time, because that's just what Japanese would want, for the most part. Now, if Splatoon was being made by the Koreans, you'd probably have male groups. I mean, if the game was being made by the Koreans, there'd probably be multiple pop groups in every game, and it would be more about the pop groups themselves than the actual, the turf wars and such. Yeah. Korea likes their pop groups. Not bad, given we had a disconnect. I will say Splatoon 3 is looking like it's going to be quite a fun game. Though I am skeptical of the three-way turf Splatfests. Because, like... Okay, let's imagine, final stage of the Splatfest. The team already in the lead gets the most players. They do have to fight two sides, but they get the most players. That means they can also still bring groups of 4 people communicating. It's gonna mean whoever's in the lead by that stage is probably always going to win. Like, there's almost no point to continuing the Splatfest at that point. Ow. Assuming they allow groups to play together during Splatfest, I imagine they will. It's also going to mean whatever team is losing, I hope, in the case of me, I hope I'm not on that team. Because I know I'm going to have a lot of y'all wanting to play with me. So, like, if I can only bring one of you with me, that's going to suck. Man, this team is getting wrecked. I think we were doing better with a disconnect. Which is always mildly disappointing. Yeah, that was a loss. Ah, well. I also really wonder how some maps are going to work for that. Because, like, there are some maps that you just can't split in half. Like, well, not split in half, but split into thirds to have each team spawn at least decently far apart. Like, Camp Triggerfish. You can't really split Camp Triggerfish into threes. Hello, Rand. Welcome to me just rambling about the Splatoon 3 news. And mostly just how I'm skeptical of how the three-way Splatfest is gonna work. Because, like, I'm not a fan of it. Because it basically means at the halfway point, two teams can only play in pairs, while the team that's winning can still have a communicating team of 4. Triggerfish will probably make it. I imagine all of the maps will probably make it in. That's my assumption, anyway. As much as people want Moray Towers to go away. Ah! That was something I saw, if true, is going to be nice. And that's that anyone with Splatoon 2 data will basically get an elevated start in Splatoon 3. So, like, I won't be starting at the bottom of ranked. I'll actually probably be starting decently high up. Because I'm X rank in everything except Clan Blitz, which makes me kind of want to go get X rank in Clan Blitz, but I don't want to play Clan Blitz. If it just wants to start me low in Clan Blitz, I don't care. I'm probably never going to play it. I hate that game mode. That's the thing I didn't want to come back, but is coming back. That didn't go where I wanted it to. Man, this team's getting wrecked. Aha! Okay, no mana sub power up. Don't care about those beacons. God, I cannot aim. Yeah, these losses are my fault. I'm not playing well enough. Big part of it is I'm just getting too distracted. I am excited to potentially get dual squelchers back. Not dually squelchers, dual squelchers. You know, from the first game. The weapon that they snapped in half and made a weapon I don't like out of. That I really liked. Yeah, but they did say every weapon. So... like, the only thing I'm skeptical on is... Splatfests. That is it. And that's only because I get the feeling that whatever team is winning by the halfway point is just going to win. No matter what. Because they'll be able to potentially use a greater level of teamwork than the other teams will be able to. Because, like... and a potential problem comes in of, like, let's imagine, say, I'm streaming. And some of you want to play too. Well, if I'm not on the winning team, only one person could come with me. Like, that kind of sucks. Like, I like the gimmick of the three-way, but, like, at the same time, it's gonna cause some problems. And they're definitely unintentional problems. Like, there's no way they intend for that to be, you know, the way it goes. Like, that was kind of funny. It sucks to disconnect, but that was kind of funny. Oh god, I'm about to die! Poof, sad of existence. Is that a... I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a pro. Okay, I was gonna say, is that pro? Is that a sploosh that didn't want to fight? But no, it's a pro. And, like, what I'm thinking when it comes to the Splatfest is, like, if you have a team of 4 people all playing together, it's not gonna matter that they're split up. And it's not like the 2 individual teams are working together, like, they actively want to work against each other. So, you've effectively now got a situation where it's 4 on 2 and 2 instead of 4 on 4. Because the losing teams aren't going to want to let the other losing team win. They want their team to win. So you're gonna have fighting between the 2 smaller teams with the larger team that's already winning. You know. I feel like instead of dropping it to be, you know, both of the losing teams now only has 2 members participating in each fight, they should just, you know... Ow. At least, like, lower it to 3. That way you still have a hope. There's still a chance. I get that would probably stress the system, though. Like, I'm not sure their online could handle 6 and 10 people. Yes, I had to stop and math that. I'm not very good with math right now. It's kind of hot. It's not as hot as it has been, but it's still kind of hot. Or just change how the winning team gains points. You know, so that whatever team is in the lead at that point starts earning, let's say, 10% less per win, kind of thing. That way you can maintain the, well, maybe the other teams can actually make a comeback without making it so that the other teams basically just cannot make a comeback. The only way I could see it working is if the 2 teams of 2 cannot splat each other, but can still paint over each other, kind of thing. Like, that is the only way I could see it working. Otherwise, the 2 teams of 2 will splat each other just as much as they're being splatted by the team of 4. I mean, it's a cool idea, but the execution is not... I don't think it's going to work out well, I should say. I can't say it's not going to work out, but I don't think it's going to work out. I mean, I'd love to be proven wrong, but... And, like, the test fire Splatfest is not going to be a good baseline for how all the rest of them are going to go, but... After we've got, like, 2 or 3 Splatfests in the bag, that will be a pretty solid indicator of if I'm right that it's always going to be the team winning. Well, they're all going to be on the same map. How they described it, based on the direct, was that it would be all 3 teams from the halfway point onwards in every battle. So that's how they explained it. It may not work out that way, but... I'll grab that friend request after this battle. If I don't forget. Ranged. When will people learn to never super jump to me? Oh god. Ow. I mean, I want to hope that it works out fine. Like, I do. But I mean, let's be honest. Splatfests have always been kind of broken. And, like, Nintendo's tried. They've tried to make Splatfests work. But the biggest problem with older Splatfests was generally it was the smaller team that would always win. Because they were fighting themselves less. More of their battles actually counted. While the larger team spent most of its time just fighting itself. Also, I have no idea what team I'll pick for the test fire yet either. I figure I'll decide on the day. Honestly feel like they should have just started with the favorite idol. Because that's what most people are going to be picking the test fire from. Just who's their favorite of the three so far. Grabbing the friend request. I just noticed one of Frisk's hairs on the pop filter of my mic. I need to deal with that. Hello, nobody asked. Communication error has occurred. I mean, it might. As I said, it's really going to depend on how the second half of the Splatfest goes. I'll change my equipment really quick. I'm gonna... I'll undercover. I'm gonna go undercover. I mean, we'll know if the system is working well. If after, like, let's say 4 Splatfests, we have basically 1 to 2 where the team that was in the lead won, and 1 to 2 where the team that, one of the teams that weren't in the lead won. But if we end up after, like, 4 Splatfests, it ends up being, like, the team in the lead won 3 of the 4. That's not really... Oh, there's... Are they partying? I can't... I think they're partying. I might need to find a new lobby. Okay, they are actually playing. I think. They were just splat. I don't know. I think they were gonna party, and then when they realized nobody was gonna party with them, they decided to actually play the game. Oh, and they disconnected. That's kind of lame. Though it could legitimately be internet problems. They may not have just done it because no one was partying with them. Teamwork! Ow. Ugh, burp. Yeah, I'm just worried about, well, as I mentioned, like, if it does come to the point of, like, all three teams on the field at once, that's probably going to be less fun for the two teams that aren't winning because they don't have a full team. You know, like, as I mentioned, like, if I'm streaming it, like, let's say, you know, the team I'm on isn't the one that's winning. If I can now only bring one of you with me, that's gonna suck. Like, I'd rather have a full team. Especially where, in theory, it shouldn't matter what team is winning. Like, because a win against, you know, in this one coming up, like, let's say Rock is winning. Well, Scissors beating Paper still counts for them getting more points, so it shouldn't... I don't understand... I don't fully understand why they feel like they need to do it the way they're doing it, is basically what I'm getting at. Like, this feels like a situation that doesn't have a major impact, like... You know, Paper beating Rock, or, you know, Paper beating Scissors, or Scissors beating Rock would still, you know... Like, it would all count the same. It's still a win. Hopefully you understand my mad ramblings. 'Cause I sure don't. I have a point in there somewhere. Somewhere. It will be interesting to see how it works, and like, as I was mentioning, if something I was reading is actually true, and people who've played Splatoon 2 will have a head start, that's gonna be so nice. Like, one of the things I was reading was that apparently you'll get basically 3 gold Sheldon tickets early to just get your favorite weapons right away. That's gonna be so nice. Like, being able to just start with, like, an undercover and a dual squelcher, that'd be nice. I'd be set. I'd be happy. I'd never need any other weapons. For a second, I thought that person's super jump was going to put them right in the water. A lot of disconnects happening today. I'll have to get to that friend request after the next battle. Yeah, like, I'm trying not to be pessimistic. But, like, that is literally my only real worry so far. And it's only 4 Splatfests. So, like, it's not a big deal. So... Hello, Slash. Ow. I was not expecting someone to just fall behind me. I will say, it really does not feel like the winner mattered for the last Splatfest. Like, at least not yet. It'll probably matter later once the paid DLC happens. Yes, I do main the undercover. Specifically this undercover. Though I am very rusty with it. I basically took like a year-long break from playing the game, so still knocking off that rust. Large part of that break was because I actually like, got a job that sucked, but you know, it was a job at least. And I miss the income, I don't miss the job. I pushed it a little too hard. I was about to be like, well, wow, you know, they really want that special, but I mean, there's not much else they could build, I suppose. It's dualies. They have built-in mobility. That just reminded me of the new actions you'll be able to do. That is going to really widen the gap between unskilled and skilled players. And I'm not sure that's a full-out positive. Yeah, I'm very hit or miss lately with the undercover. I know what I'm doing wrong, it's just stopping myself from doing it wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna grab that friend request. Just, hopefully that gets through before I back out. Like, I ultimately think in the end it'll be a good thing. I do feel bad for the new players who are going, like, they're gonna be better than the other new players and get thrown straight into, like, basically thrown to the wolves, like... I could see that happening because that already happens. I distinctly remember with the first Splatoon, and this game I was already experienced, but with the first Splatoon, when I first started, I crushed the other level 1s to 3s, and then was immediately in lobbies with, like, level 50s, who knew what they were doing, and then I got utterly destroyed. Because I didn't really know what I was doing. I had just played a shooter before, like... Nah, I'll keep the undercover for the rest of the rotation. It's only gonna be like 2 more battles on this rotation anyway. Well, see, the skill gap doesn't necessarily mean that Nintendo's matchmaking is going to account for it. How could you like Clam Blitz? How could you? Come back, Afterlife. Well, technically, welcome to this stream. Like, I feel like ultimately in the end, it's going to be like a net positive to have the extra actions. turned around enough. It is kind of funny how basically everybody is about to have... Why did... My brain just went, yes, perfect Tentamissile time. Splashed out. Brain, work with me here. It is kind of funny that literally everybody is about to have dually dodging. Like... Probably. Oh god, I'm dying! They're killing me! After the North Koreans finally rise up. Which will never happen, you know. That is pretty good. North Korea, shining bastion of what communism can do to destroy your own country. It's honestly a real shame that communism never worked anywhere, because it's a good idea on paper. But that's the problem. It's only a good idea on paper. Ow. It only works in practice if you have people who are truly selfless at the top. Same with socialism. It only works if you have truly selfless people running it. Otherwise, it's just gonna fall apart. Come on, team, I can only YOLO so hard. So did you know, according to the North Koreans, they sunk an American booster class cruiser? According to the actual history of it, this booster shot at a few torpedo boats, they sank, and the rest ran away. Not the cruiser, the torpedo boats. Because that's all North Korean Navy had, was torpedo boats. They didn't have anything that was a legitimate threat to even a cruiser. Also, fun fact, North Korea thinks it won the Korean conflict. I don't think anyone should tell them it was more China that turned the tides. There we go. There's the maps and modes updating. There's Salmon Run closing for a few hours. Ooh, it is Splat Zones. I have to use the washroom real quick, so I'll be back. I'll decide while I'm there if I want to do some ranked. Twitch is going to get ads as normal. YouTube will be fine because I can't run ads on YouTube. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. I just need to get everything back up. There we go. I'll just keep doing Turf War. I might do a little ranked at some point, but I kind of don't want to risk losing my X's this close to Splatoon 3 coming out. Which I feel is kind of fair. Ow. Hey, they have some standard dapples in. No mains of sub power-ups, so if he does place beacons, they probably won't be very good. Ow. Will I be safe? Turns out I was not. It's gonna be real interesting with specials like Tentamissiles sticking around, while, like, triple Ink Strike is going to be a thing. Like, okay, Nintendo. Why is anyone ever gonna use Tentamissiles over triple Ink Strikes, unless the Ink Strikes are terrible and, like, you know, shadow of their former self? Ah. Oh well. Yeah, he has no sub power up at all. He does have some quick super jump for himself, but like, meh. Guys are just super jump to teammates at that point. Yeah, what frisk? How's my frisk doing? Yeah, I know you want the window open. But I don't want it open. I have the AC running. If I open the window, all the cool air will go out. Like, it's the same as if, like, if they bring back Stingray in its current form, alongside that new special that's like 5 mini killer whales going off. Like, very much seems like an insta-kill type special. And you get the Stingray that just kind of tickles you a bit till you die. Like, I don't know, I think I'd rather have, you know, the much more instant, better insta-kill special to a Stingray. Ow. I was gonna try and place down a splat mine. I gotta get back into just throwing splat mines down in random places. That's the most fun way of using them. Like, they're definitely gonna need to buff the old, like, the Splatoon 2 specials to keep them around and keep people actually using them. Because if they port them just 1-to-1 right now, I can't see anyone using them other than when, like, the weapon they want to use just happens to have it. Like, that is the only occasion I could see someone using one. I mean, it'd be like bringing back the special from the first game that literally all it does is point sensor everybody. So I think they are doing that. Like, that was an ammo recovery even back then. That's all that was. That was quick ammo recovery. I will say at the moment, my main hope is that we're gonna get a dual squelcher with beacons and, like, a bomb rush. That'd be awesome. Hello, Jay. I just like bomb rushes, though. And beacons. And the dual squelcher. I mean, just an undercover with beacons would be awesome. I'm alright. Bit hot. It's a bit hot. It's cooling off down here now that I have my AC turned up to its second setting, which actually cools things off instead of slowing and heating up. The little first setting basically just slows it getting hot. It doesn't really keep it at temperature, but this little AC thing was made in like the 60s. I can't really blame it. It's not very good. It's also very small. But it's kind of perfect for the size of room I've got. How are you doing? I can't tell who won. That looks a lot closer than that. Well, now I look at it a little more now. Okay. My brain was like, no, the map continues on further bottom left. But no, it doesn't. Come on, team. Pull yourselves together. Really feel like I should just go back to the splatter shot. Where no one's leaving this lobby. I think I'll find a new lobby here soon. I might do some ranked. I might do that. Because I do really want to do some ranked. What? Blocking all my shots, teammate. Real helpful of you. Oh, hey, the dualies are over here. They always do this. Like, every battle on this map, they've done this. Ow. That sucks. Okay, I'm gonna back out. I think I'm gonna... Maybe I'll do a little bit of ranked. I may regret doing a bit of ranked, but I'm gonna do a bit of ranked. Beacons? Nah, those would suck. Probably. Yeah, these ones kind of suck. I'll still use it, because, like... Ow, ran out of ink. I apologize for not talking a huge amount. I don't want to die and cost this battle for my team. So I am kind of focusing a bit. Bugger. I think this is a win, though. I'm pretty sure we're gonna win. We just need to now hold the points for literally as long as we have just had held them. I had to say this is probably gonna be a win, didn't I? Come on, team. We got this. Yes. Oh, I thought I had my special. I didn't. Pretty sure that's a win. Yeah. That was a nice start. Confusion? What? Huh? What? Why was it all? I don't remember that at all. Everything was question marks. I'm so confused right now. Well, this was a stomp. Okay. Yeah, their blaster is disconnected. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but disconnecting doesn't save you from the loss. It still happens. I think. No, it doesn't. I remember that now. I just don't know if that would happen with ranked or not. And with Turf War, if you disconnect, like manually disconnect, like I've literally done it before, it does not count as a loss if your team loses. Doesn't count as a win if your team wins. It just counts as nothing. Which is a little backwards. You'd think disconnecting would, you know... Why is everything questioned? I don't know. Alright, Jay. Have a good one. Okay, we also have beacons. Our beacons will be good. If the E-Leader can manage to get any place down. That's stick. I mean, they're not great, but it's something. Oh, that frame loss. I think I just accidentally popped their bubble. Ah, come on, team. Those dualies are literally the reason we're losing, I think. Because they're just flanking around because they can do that. They're dualies. Actually, I know what I should do. Bummer. Well, I had a plan. It's faster than swimming, still. They're very fond of throwing that sprinkler up on the middle bit. So my thought is, if I put the ink mine up there, it'll basically automatically poof their sprinkler. If they throw it up there, which they've now stopped doing. Come on, team. Ah! I really wish the ink armor for Splashdown applied immediately. Like, gods, it would be such a good special if it did. It would actually be useful. The team just stopped pushing at the end there. I mean, I'm 2-1 ranked, so... I think it's 2-1. Yeah, 2-1. Man, I wish Splashdown was better. Hello, AI. I still don't know why everyone's question mark. I do not remember that. That feels like something I would remember. So I don't want to. I'm happy being level 99. Why would I want to be level 1 again? Yeah, they don't have a sprinkler, so I don't need to worry about putting anything in the middle. Ow. yeah, that's the same dualies as before, so he'll be flanking. It's like his favorite thing to do. Yeah, we lost the momentum, and now people aren't pushing. Man, only 3 days. Person, you're not helping matters. Like, now I'm 2-2. Okay, I'm gonna back out for a moment and just see if I can get a different lobby. It's like, I don't want to deal with those dualies anymore. Like, I know what their game plan is, but I just don't want to deal with them. I'm gonna go grab some coffee real quick, so that'll mean Twitch is getting another ad break. I do apologize. I will be back, however. Alright, I am back. Restream and that back up. Oh boy, a charger. I mean, it is a squiffer. It's not as bad as, like, the E-liter. I should probably actually start super jumping more. That'd probably help. No one to really safely super jump to, so time to swim back. Thanks for following, Slash. It did just occur to me, falling in the water just reminded me, remind me, I can speak. One of the maps that's returning for Splatoon 3 was like my nemesis in the first game. The resort with all the water, I can't think of its name at this exact moment. My brain's kind of focused on other things. I literally had to joke in the first game that I needed a falls in water counter with how many times I would fall in the water. Mahi Mahi Resort. That's the map. Water is my nemesis. It always will be. Started on Mahi Mahi, and it shall continue on Mahi Mahi and New Albacore. Like, there is a reason why I used to joke I needed a falls in water counter at the first game. Like, I could not get through a game of frickin' Mahi Mahi without falling in the water at least once. Oh. Oh, I remember what that means. Okay, well... we lose this, that guy's gonna feel pretty bad, I guess. But we do have an E-leader and a disconnect. We've lost. Well, maybe. It's very unlikely we'll win now, though. Yeah, I saw you were playing Monster Hunter. I do have to wonder why y'all are playing World instead of freaking Rise. Yeah, this is over. The chances of us winning is very slim. Battles like this kind of suck. Like, yeah, this was potentially very one-sided before the disconnect, but now it is very one-sided because of the disconnect. And this is still going to be a loss. Like, I'm still going to lose points because I can't carry the weight of 1.3 people. Like... Rise is like World, but better in almost every way. I don't get how people could like World and not Rise. I mean, I get they exist, I just don't understand it. I didn't get a single splat. I tried. It'll be counted as a draw. Well, it doesn't really matter. It just means both teams lost. Like, that's all that means. It means no one wins. Like, I legitimately remember when Iceborne came out, a lot of the Monster Hunter purists basically going, ah, it's ruined Monster Hunter because of the Clutch Claw. And Rise literally removes the Clutch Claw. Like... The Hunting Horn was greatly buffed. Like, in World, it is probably one of the worst weapons you could use, even in a group. Because, yeah, sure, you're buffing your buddies, but by the end of Iceborne, this is minor spoiler, but it's more just to the power creep of it. By the end of Iceborne, the buffs from the Hunting Horn are going to be nearly unnoticeable. While he's having to spend the majority of his time just to keep the buffs going. Meanwhile, in Rise, the buffs just keep going. Or you could change the way it works so that you have to play it like old Hunting Horn. Like... Dead. And I don't feel like the Blight system was dumbed down any. It all still exists. Literally, resistances work the exact same way as they do in World. 20 of something and you're immune to it. Other than that, resistance is pretty much pointless. I mean, I've been playing Monster Hunter since 3 try, so I don't know. And honestly, like, between the two games, World has arguably the more dumbed down weapons, purely because of wire bugs. Wire bugs add so much versatility to your actions. Like, the switch axe no longer just gets hit in the face every few seconds. They can actually, with a press of a couple buttons, basically tank a hit. With the Invincible Gambit. They'll still take the damage, but they won't be knocked on their ass. Like, I'm not saying World is a bad game. Like, it's not. It's still a good game. It's just, I personally feel Rise is better. Oh. You'll have to go watch the VOD. Now, I'll summarize. Basically, I personally feel weapons in Rise are more complex and have more to do with them than in World. And really any of the older games, except maybe Generations. But that's only because the wire bugs are basically the Generations skill system. Like, I'm not saying World's bad. Like, I just prefer Rise. I mean, I could still easily play World. And like, as someone who used to be a Hunting Horn main, Hunting Horn is not good by the end of even base World. Because you're basically just a discount hammer at that point. Your buffs are so small that they're virtually unnoticeable by your team. So... Not helped by the defender weapons being the defender weapons. Like, they are really good weapons in World. Rise, not so much. They're just kind of okay. They're good for their rarity, but even then, they're not the best weapon at each rarity level. They're just the fastest to get, so they're the good early game weapon. I mean, literally with World, there's not much reason to use anything but the defender weapons until you reach the end of base World. And even then, there's only a couple of weapons that are better. Until Iceborne. See, the Greatsword isn't as strong as a hammer. That's really what the Hunting Horn is comparable to. Given neither of them can sever parts. And they both are blunt weapons. They both deal in blunt resistance. And the Hunting Horn just cannot keep up. Like, I used to use the Hunting Horn a lot, too. I love the thing. I still love the thing. But it gets power creeped hard as a buffing weapon. As a main weapon, it's alright, but you'd still be better off with a longsword, a switch axe, sword and shield, dual blades. Greatsword has its combo, and that's about it. Not saying Greatsword's terrible. Greatsword is still pretty good. All the weapons are good in their own right. It's just... it does get very power creeped. Hammer is a high skill floor weapon. we lost control, didn't we? Yeah. Oh no, we took the lead. Never mind. I thought we'd lost control. Like, a good hammer will basically do... I don't know if it's as possible in World and Rise as it is in the older games, but they'll do what has been known of as stun locking. Hammers can stun monsters. All it takes is dealing enough damage to the monster's head. You deal that damage once, and you can keep them permanently stunned. You just need to know what you're doing. As mentioned, I don't know if that's as possible in World and Rise. In older games, I know it was. Stun locking was a very real thing. Yeah, they're just not a great hammer. I mean, it's a case of I'm not that good at Monster Hunter, and I've never timed out. Ever. Well, no, I have once, with the first encounter with Lunastra. Because you have, like, 20 minutes. And I had never encountered Lunastra before, so I had no idea what I was even getting into. So I timed out there, but that's because I was playing it way too safe. I mean, I'm a Switch Axe. Switch Axes don't play it safe. I'd say if that's, you know, if they're timing out while using a hammer, to advise them to pick a new weapon. Because evidently they're not very good with the hammer. Ah, team, please. I mean, I get we have an E-leader. That's 99% of our problem. I will forever dislike the people that use chargers in splat zones. Like, the really long-range chargers. It's just not it's not a zone's weapon. It just isn't. The Hydra is. If you can use a charger, you can use a Hydra. Grab the Hydra. Like... I primarily do Switch Axe, Light Bowgun, Heavy Bowgun. Sword and Shield, Insect Glaive, basically everything. I've gotten to the point where I can comfortably play everything except the lances. And I can even play Gun Lance alt-right. Regular Lance, not so much. Gun Lance, sure. Nah, this is a loss. Come on, team. We might be able to do it, but I'm pretty sure this is a loss. So all they need to do is knock us out of control. Or I guess they actually have to take it. Okay, we won. Okay. That was pretty close. I don't remember what a good X power for Splat Zones is, so I'm not gonna know if my power at the end here is actually gonna be good or not, but... I'm currently 6-3. And I think I'll end up around 2200. Six wins, 3 losses. Literally an E-leader and a splatter scope on both teams. So 2 people didn't really get the memo that this is Splat Zones. I think this is going to end up being 6-4. I know I'm being a bit pessimistic saying this is already a loss, but this is probably already a loss. I mean, the amount of buffing they gave to the Hunting Horn in Rise, I find it hard to believe a Hunting Horn main is salty about that and doesn't like it. Like, Like, sure, you don't have to stop and go ba-da, 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 ba-da every, like, 2 minutes. Because you're just auto-playing each song to a minor degree as you're going along. But that's the point. It's only to a minor degree you are playing the song at. Listen, my brain didn't click that he was even there. So, like... you still get a bigger bonus from the songs to stop and play them. You just don't have to stop and play them. Come on, team. Okay, we've gotten the lead. We just need to not lose it. There we go. Okay. 7-3. I mean, to be fair, it's... in World, it's least used in bottom tier. And you can... you can swap... oh, 2300. Neat. You can actually set up the hunting horn to play like it used to. Like, you don't have to use the new system. You do have to play a bit of hunting horn before you get that, the ability to change your switch skill around so that you're actually, you know, playing like you used to. Just with the new attacks. Like, that is possible. Let me see, can I... there's no way to see the X power, is there? Okay, here we go. So, the absolute top right now is 2,900. So I'm like 600 points behind them. I mean, no, it won't, like, in Rise, nothing plays like it did in World. Not perfectly. Like, an easy example is the longsword went from countering most things to countering everything. The switch axe went from lumbering brute to actually having some mobility. And if you're gonna, you know, to get the most out of it, you're gonna want that mobility. Like, your default 2 switch skills, one of which is basically morphs your sword into an axe, and just lets you dash in a direction. The other morphs into an axe and you do a whirling attack forward where you cannot be interrupted. The insect glaive got even more aerial attacks. A lot of the shielded weapons got super guards that make them even more effective at guarding. So there's situations where you can guard an attack that you normally wouldn't have been able to from the older games. It doesn't feel like playing the older game weapon because you've got new skills to play around with. Hello, it's Pluto. I think I'm happy with this X power. I'll just stay there. I'm content. Whoop, wrong button. I want this button. I could never be bothered to build an optimized build for everything. And, like, you can be good with a bad weapon. It doesn't make the hunting horn and world good. It doesn't mean it's not power creeped by the end game. As a support weapon. And as a main weapon, it's just kind of mediocre by the end game of Iceborne. Like, when the damage you're dealing is in the few hundreds, getting like a plus 20 to your attack doesn't matter. It just doesn't. It's adding 1 or 2 extra damage. Like, it's not... A lot of heavy bowgun mains can solo all of the content in the game with ease. Like, world heavy bowgun is broken, though. It is the most powerful weapon. Time is it? Alright, I'll go a little longer. I think I'll end off because it's getting pretty hot. Even with my AC on. I mean, heavy bowgun and longsword are the 2 best weapons in the game. They will outperform the other weapons. They just will. Like, you know, your friend being really good with the hunting horn, I don't doubt that. But if he encountered someone of equal skill using a heavy bowgun or a longsword, they would outpace him. He would be pretty irrelevant to them. Like... I mean, that still happens in Rise, don't get me wrong. That still happens. And if he enjoys the hunting horn, he can keep using it. I'm just stating the fact the hunting horn is not a good weapon. Not, you know, compared to the others. That's all I'm trying to say. It is a bit of a power creep weapon. Well, like, the thing is, the hunting horn's damage output doesn't match the damage output of the longsword or the heavy bowgun. Or even dual blades. Like, as I've mentioned, like, I love the hunting horn. It's still one of my go-to weapons. Like, your switch axe, if you have a switch axe with equal base attack stat, you'll deal more damage with every hit. You just will. And you're hitting as often, if not more often, than he is. You're putting more damage into the fight. Honestly, swapping to the switch axe is one of the things that, you know, made me go, oh, hunting horn's not all that great. So I was also in the camp of like, well, I'm doing all of this stuff, like, you know. But, like, the thing to remember is that the game is balanced so that any weapon can do any hunt, as long as you're good enough with the weapon. It doesn't make every weapon equal. Yeah, and that's fair. You don't have to like really any of the weapons. Like, but there is a reason the longsword has always been the most used weapon, and it's not just weeaboos. Like, it's legitimately the best weapon, always has been. They legitimately tried to nerf it for Rise, and it's still the best weapon. Like, partially because on top of nerfing it, they also gave it a pretty big buff by giving it more counterattacks. Like, it needed more. Alright, AI. I mean, the stream's probably going to be ending in like 10 minutes anyway, so have a good one. Yep. Hope you have a nice day as well. At least as nice of a day as you can have at a wedding. Weddings just sound boring to me. I don't even think I'll have the patience for my own wedding. I mean, I know Robotic does not want, like, a big wedding, so that'll be nice. Ah, we had disconnect. Boo. Get better internet connections, people. Yeah, this is over. Especially with people on the enemy team being like, nah, spawn camp time. It's like, guys, please. The game's more fun even when there's a disconnect if you don't spawn camp. Me takes care of 3 of the enemy team. My team struggles to take care of a single end zap. I mean, I get there's only 2 of them, but like, come on, guys. I think I'll actually end the stream after this battle. Because it's hot. I want to turn my AC up. I'm also hungry, so. This is one of my quote-unquote days off anyway, so like, I'm only streaming today because I meant to stream yesterday, and then didn't because it was hot. So. Almost 1,600 points. If only that guy hadn't disconnected. Oh, well. Can't be said I didn't do my part. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna try to be back streaming again tomorrow. It might end up just being more Splatoon, or I might do Pokemon again. Because Pokemon would have been what I normally would have done, so... You know. Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching, and hopefully I shall see you back here tomorrow for whatever I end up streaming, assuming it isn't too hot. See you all then!